Hi there, as a part of AgilePoint's version 10 release, we're happy to announce support for Nvidia NIM. Now over the course of this video, we'll first show you how to connect into NIM and use the various process activities. So to get started, we'll move into Manage. Under App Builder, we have Global Access Tokens. So what we'll be doing here is creating a globally reusable token across applications and across developers, which has its own permission framework. But bear in mind, we can always create app-level tokens. Okay, so we'll add a new token. You're seeing here the connection is pretty straightforward. All we'll need from the NIM side is the API key. And if you're creating this access token for the first time, go ahead and test the connection. Now from here, you're seeing I have a drop-down list called Model. This is really handy from an ongoing manageability perspective, as I can change the model at the access token level, as opposed to across a number of applications, each with their own process activities and AI control towers. Now looking at the NIM activity group, it's very typical for any other AI platform that AgilePoint supports. The focus of today's video will be around the process activities, where we have chat completion, which you'll see in this video, or create an image. Now under the control tower side, you are seeing a number of ways we can bring in dynamic process behavior, leveraging the chat completion activity, but this will be the focus of our companion video. The use case for today is going to be document intelligence, where our large language model compares two versions of an executed agreement, brings a human into the loop to validate those differences, and gives us a number of mechanisms by which we can harmonize the data across all downstream systems. So the process will start with a new document submitted for processing. We'll convert that document into text, which our agents can then use. And our first NIM agent is going to be in charge of classification. What type of document is this? Is it a statement of work, a license agreement, informal customer feedback, or something else? And then from there, we have sub-agents with special skills to extract the details from, say, a statement of work or a licensing agreement. Now from there are additional sub-processes which we'll walk through in just a moment, but let's take a look at our classification agent. Okay, so first thing, we've connected into NIM. Now in this case, the model we're actually connecting to is from Qwen, and you'll notice that the use model configured in the access token has been grayed out. So we are choosing this on a per activity or per control tower basis. From there, a few initial model parameters. Okay, our request mapping, the context will be the entire agreement text. The goals are to classify that text into one of a few different predefined document types that we just talked about: statement of work, licensing agreement, customer feedback, or other. The skills are to identify the type of language we might associate with each type of document, to distinguish formal agreements from informal feedback, and so on. As mentioned, the input is going to be the entire text itself, and then various instructions for each document type. Now the response is going to be a category, which we're storing here in an AgilePoint process variable. Now from here on, our sub-agents for the statements of work and license agreements respectively are going to be pretty similar in terms of configuration. So we'll just go through one of them. Taking a look at our license agreement agent, again, we've connected into NIM, specified the model we'd like to use. Again, the entire agreement text. Now this agent has special skills to detect and extract details from a license agreement. So you're going to see that reflected here under goals, skills, instructions, and so on. And the response. Now the response here is being stored again in an AgilePoint process variable, and we're expecting a JSON structure. Okay, now we do have a couple of sub-processes here for each respective branch, so let's walk through those quickly. So once we've extracted details, say from a statement of work or a license agreement as an example, we'll load those details into our sub-process. And what you're seeing here are activities for Salesforce, where we'll extract our current understanding of the existing contract so that in a human task, we can facilitate a side-by-side comparison. Now from here, we have additional activities, again, to harmonize the data based on the chosen path forward. So that was our statement of work process. Things are going to work very similarly here from a license agreement perspective. So now that we understand the application, let's go ahead and run it. Okay, so here we have our form where we can submit a new document for processing, and we'll start with a license agreement. Okay, so that's uploaded. Let's go ahead and track it in real time. Okay, so as you can see here, our classification agent has identified this as a type of license agreement, and as we can see here, the sub-process is now running. The current contract details have been extracted from our system of record, which means now our side-by-side comparison is ready. Now on the first tab, you're seeing high-level details about this license agreement, things like the account name that it pertains to in Salesforce, agreement name, so on. Now under the metadata comparison screen, we're seeing on the right-hand side our current understanding of this customer with their existing contract and the newly extracted details. So as you can see here, the red hues indicate there are some key areas of discrepancy. So navigating over to the Actions tab, I can determine how best to harmonize the data. Now based on what we're seeing, it might make sense to update our system of record with that newly extracted metadata. But as you're seeing here, I can always kick off a new contracts management flow. Okay, now let's run this process once more with a statement of work. Okay, so our statement of work has just uploaded. Okay, so this time around, our classification agent has identified this is a type statement of work. Again, the details of our existing contract have been extracted, and our side-by-side comparison is ready. Now here, our agent is extracting different sorts of details from our statement of work, and we'll see that reflected in the form. So as you're seeing here, details are on the project, budget, timeline, etc., payment schedule, and so on. Okay, so with that, that's going to conclude the content for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this gives you a better understanding of how to connect into Nvidia NIM and select the various models, and of course, use the various activities in the NIM activity group. Thanks so much, and we'll talk to you soon.